what has happened in society? It seems like people have no fear of debt at all, and they justify just the ridiculous amount of debt they get for saying, well, it's for education and that's good debt. Listen, man, debt is debt. It's no such thing as good debt and bad debt. There's some debt that you can tolerate for a bit, but when it comes to student loans, it's excessive. And I want to share this video, and you guys could drop some of your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts.
What I've learned is people are more afraid of student loan debt than they are of credit card debt. Because I just posted a video talking about how I have $280,000 worth of student loan debt, and it was meant to be funny and really meant to point out the student debt crisis in the United States. But people started commenting things like, this is why I didn't go to school, the debt isn't worth it, and that was not the point of the video. And I just want to say student debt is one of the most worthwhile debts to get into, to get an education, to be able to be a high earner in the future and actually pay off that debt. I see a lot of people who don't go to school because they're afraid of debt and then end up in debt and credit card debt trying to afford day-to-day bills. So don't let debt be the reason that you don't go to school, because it'll be worth it in the end, and it's way better than struggling to pay things day to day because you don't have a high earning job because you didn't get an education.
Wow, what she said now was, man, I do not agree with what she said. You guys let me know what you think, but I'm going to share with you what I think. Now, first of all, this whole thinking that just going to college is the only way to get a high income, no. That's not true. That is certainly not true. There's plumbers, electricians out there that are making so much money, more money than someone, that was a college grad. Now, it depends on what you go to college for. If you're going to college for an art degree or whatnot, you're not going to get paid a lot, okay? And carrying that loan for something you just love and you're passionate about is not going to get you that far. So this illusion of thinking the only way to gain a high income is by going to college. Let me tell you something about these Gen Zers, okay? They figured it out. And I really respect the Gen Zers. And me, as a millennial, right, a later millennial, I learned so much from a Gen Z, and I wish I would have had opportunities to learn to do what they said a lot younger, which was you don't need to follow the conventional path to build wealth. You can try to start your own business. You could try to do e-commerce. You could try to do YouTube videos. You could do everything you want in order to boost your income, to not have to go to 9 to 5. Some people become successful without going the college path. Right? Because if you go that path with the illusion of thinking that you're going to get a high earned income, you're delusional. You are extremely delusional, because there's other people as well getting the same degree you are getting. And guess what? When the day you graduate, everyone you graduated with, that's your competition. Everyone is competing with each other. Everyone's competing with each other for that job. And yes, you might even get that job that you want. You might be happy about it. But now you're competing with someone to get a bigger raise or whatnot. So it doesn't always just equate to making more money. It doesn't. And it's really, really unfortunate that even to this day, people still think that's the right path, especially with the fact of college school, the tuition being so ridiculously expensive. I mean, it is extremely expensive. And to think like, well, I could just pay it off later. No, I wish she would have a conversation with someone that currently has student loan debt, and then she could understand that that's not the case. You see, people get into so much student loan debt and they don't pay attention to really how much debt they're getting. They just think, I pay it later, and then expect later to just all of a sudden be really good with finances and paying it off because you're really disciplined. The fact that you're just getting these student loans and you're not paying attention, the average person doesn't even know the rates. They don't even know how much money they have until the day they graduate, like 6 months later when the forbearance is over, and they start making that payment and recognize, wow, I never knew that, right? So you don't have the education to even know how much money, you're gonna make. You're not gonna be disciplined later on in the future to pay off your debt. It doesn't work that way. Right? Unfortunately, you're going to get tempted to want to get a house, tempted to get a car, tempted to go on vacation, tempted to spend all this money. And lifestyle creep is real. Your lifestyle will change tremendously. You come from living on a dorm or living in your parents' house to living on your own. You're going to spend so much money, and it's really hard to be disciplined and say, you know what, I'm going to stay in my parents' house for a few years and pay off my student loans. It's really hard to do that. It really is, because you graduated, you want to start your job. Sometimes your job's a little further away or whatever the case may be. And you're kind of an adult. You want to be responsible and do responsible things. So this illusion of thinking that student loans is just good, right? And it's just like everyone to just have it and it's okay, don't feel bad about it. That's not true. Look at the people just begging and hoping that Biden have forgiven their student loans. That didn't happen. And guess what? Now they gotta live the rest of their life carrying that loan until the day they decide, you know what? I'm cutting back my lifestyle. I'm cutting back my expenses. And I'm just gonna focus on paying off my student loans. Yes, I know it hurts. Yes, I know it's gonna be a grind. And trust me, I don't wanna give up all this time paying this loan off. But I know it's necessary. I gotta take the sacrifices to pay it off. Because if you put yourself in that mess, you gotta take yourself out of that mess. Because a student loan, let me tell you, man, it's meant to just make you just carry it with you for the rest of your life. Especially with this repayment plans, and you pay hardly nothing or nothing at all, and you're just carrying it through the mud, and then you're worrying right now about retirement. And now when you retire, you might have to start paying your student loans. Like imagine being 60 to 65 paying student loans that you got at the age of 20, like 40 years ago. You probably have your mortgage paid out and you have a home fully paid off before that time even comes. And then people are going to tell you, well, it's good debt because the interest rate is low. It doesn't matter. You're just dragging it through the mud until the day, well, you eventually have to pay it back or you pass away. It's really unfortunate that people just have that mentality of thinking is like, it's okay, get student loans because you're going to make more money. You never guarantee to make more money. And first of all, you never even guarantee to graduate. There's people out there that went to college and never even graduated. Now imagine that, right? You went all these years in college, hopefully not 3 years, but some people go 3 years and they recognize, you know what, college is not for me. Or they just fail. I mean, you're not guaranteed to pass, you just fail. And now you're carrying this debt that everyone told you is good and they promised you this life in the future that's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be great with high earned income. And you have people who just never went to college at all and making so much money on the side without student loan debt, so they get to keep all that money they're having. I don't know, man. It's time for society to really wake up, and I want people to understand you have two options. If there's anyone out there who didn't get a college degree, drop your comment down below. I would love to hear what profession you're in, and maybe you can help some people out there to understand going to college is not the only route. There is two routes we can build wealth. College, yes, we're doing it wisely, right? Going to community college and keeping your debt as low as possible, then going to university, or also just going the hard working route, which is just building yourself up, getting yourself a certificate for whatever field you're in, and then just grinding and just using your skills and your knowledge to get you to make an income even higher than someone with a college degree. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.